What's up, everyone, and happy November. Hope everyone had a safe and fun trick-or-treating experience before the rain came in last night. I do apologize if I sound like a 70-year-old smoker. I've been trying to fight off what everybody else in my family has had the past couple weeks, but I think it's finally starting to get me. So that's why I sound like I have been out all night smoking, but I haven't. I was in bed early. So rain out today and or rain out last night, I should say. And typically, I don't know how I feel about when people are like, "Oh, this is a team of destiny. This is a team of fate. It's just meant to be." However, that rain out now has set their pitching staff up the way it should be. So they're going to be able to move back everybody. Ranger Suarez is going to pitch today. The bullpen now has an extra day of rest. Syndergaard's going to go for game 5 now because I believe Nola is able to go in game 4. And then I guess game 6 would be Wheeler. And it just, again, I don't know sometimes how I feel about that. However, when something like this happens, it's lining up the way it should be. So hopefully they come out tonight behind that crowd who now has had 48 hours to get prepped for this game. So they've won the Ranger Suarez game every time they've had to. They've won the Ranger Suarez game. This is a must win. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. I'm not gonna lie, the way that everybody else has been pitching, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have Ranger on the mound tonight. So we'll take it. Don't look now, but maybe, just maybe, it could be the schedule. But Doc Rivers has the Sixers now at 4-4. We'll see if that trend continues and how they play when they play some tougher competition. But I'll take it. I'll definitely take it and give him the benefit of the doubt that you have new pieces in, trying to figure it out. And I could have been wrong. I doubt it, but we'll see. So this day in Philly sports history on November 1st, 2009, it was a rare New York Philly doubleheader in South Philadelphia. So in the afternoon, game 1, you had the Eagles playing the Giants basically for first place in the division. The Eagles won 40-17. Donovan McNabb had 3 touchdowns, one to Brent Selleck, Jeremy Maclin, and Deshaun Jackson. I remember being at that game and just being so pumped to go and watch the Phillies game that night. Didn't have tickets, watching it at home. We were going to game 5 of that series. Game 5 of that series. So it was just an all Philadelphia day. But Leonard Weaver ran in one for 41 yards. LaShawn McCoy ran one in for 66 yards. It was just an overall, dominant performance. Had us feeling good about the Eagles, who the year before were in the NFC Championship game but lost to the Cardinals. They did move into first place. They had a de facto NFC Championship game that year, the last game of the season in Dallas. Got shut out. And then went back to Dallas the next week and got beat even bad. That was the Donovan McNabb guitar game when he was coming out of the tunnel. This was Donovan's last season as a quarterback of the Eagles. So that was game 1. Game 2 later that night was game 4 of the 2009 World Series. And that was a back and forth game. It was 4-4 going into the 9th. Chase Utley and Pedro Feliz both hit homers, but you had Brad Lidge coming in the 9th in a tied game at home. You have to like what your chances with that. Now, that year, Lidge was nowhere near lights out as he was in 2008. However, he still was a pretty dominant closer for that year. He did have a couple blown saves where he didn't have any the year before. So I guess the law of averages, whatever. So quickly gets the first 2 outs that game, or that inning, and then Johnny Damon comes up to bat. It's a 2-out single. Stole second, but because they had the shift on for Mark Teixeira, excuse me, I told you I'm fighting that. But because they had the shift on for Mark Teixeira, he just kept running to third, and nobody was there to stop him. And I think it really affected what Brad Lidge felt comfortable doing, because if you remember, his key was that nasty slider he had that would just bounce in the dirt. And I feel as though he was afraid to throw that to give up the winning run on a wild pitch. I mean, Chooch was amazing as a catcher, so you didn't really think it was going to happen. But I feel that's what happened, and ultimately he ended up giving up 3 runs. They lose 7-4 to go down 3-1 in the World Series. They just never were able to recover from that. But this day in Philly sports history, it was the rare New York Philly doubleheader, and it was the Eagles Giants in the first game, where the Eagles won and took over first place in the division. And then you had Game 4 of the World Series where the Yankees came back in the 9th to beat the Phillies. So hopefully Phillies come back fired up tonight and win the Ranger-Suarez game. Go have yourselves a Tuesday. Until next time, I'll see you when I see you.